Hello everyone, how are you? So guys, a new video. This is going to be Jupiter in Taurus for all of the signs. So I'm just looking at, have all my notes here. So guys, Jupiter is in Taurus on the 16th of May for a whole year. It's not going to be no breaks. It's going to be from the 16th of May till the until May 2024. And it's going to be, it's going to be a different type of one, because if we look back like 12 years ago when Jupiter was in Taurus, it was a different time. We had Saturn, which was in Libra. Yeah, Saturn was in Libra. It wasn't an easy time. I've said this before, but the 2010s was a lost decade. It was a decade that, again, it benefited certain generations, but it didn't benefit a lot of other generations. I felt like the Pluto in Libra generation and the Pluto in Sagittarius generation did not feel this. Okay, on one hand, the Pluto in Libra, some of us were just having kids and trying to get our career on point and family, and the Pluto in Sagittarius were graduating from college, but there was no jobs. We were also still in a recession, and we had the Tory government. They actually rose to power in 2010, 2011 as well. There were riots that were happening in this country because, it was a race attack, and, the young generation were just not having it. It was a killing of a black man called Mark Duggan, and there was riots galore in London. It was around London. It was a scary time, guys. But I don't condone violence, but I also understand the frustration that it had. Again, we had the government that was making so much cuts towards, when children go on 6 weeks holiday, they were cutting their play centres. There was nothing they could do. People were struggling with money. Basically what's happening now, guys. And especially like in the summer of 2011, that's when we had the riots in London. Yeah, so if you want to know what it was about, that was one of the reasons, because it was about racism, but also about who we had in power. So, and it was a hot year. It was a very hot year. We also had Amy Winehouse passed away as well. It wasn't a time that we looked on, which was really great, guys. Jupiter being in Taurus 12 years ago should have been great. And I'm sure some of you actually really benefited from it, especially if you've got sun, moon or rising. I mean, I did feel some results, but it wasn't, there was I can count on one hand the greatest things that happened then. But on the other hand, there was not a lot that was so great. But obviously, we have to try and think of the positives here. So now we come back into Jupiter in Taurus. It's leaving Aries, or it's left Aries, and now it's in Taurus. Now, this is going to be a very different one, because this year and next year, specifically next year, it's going to conjunct Uranus, and it's going to be a brand new cycle. The last time it happened, it was in Pisces and Aries. It was all like on the cusp of Pisces and Aries. So when Jupiter in Taurus conjuncts this in Uranus, and also let's not forget, it does square, especially this year, it does square Pluto. So on one hand, it can make us feel very powerful. Like, again, I'm picking up intuition. It can make things a bit more powerful for us in terms of what we're pursuing, our goals, because it does square, it squares Taurus, which rules Taurus's 10th house. So it can give us that sort of You know, you can sort of, in a way, do what you want, but, you know, pursuing things, it can give you that sort of like confidence and power to be seen, but to be pursuing things that we are very passionate about. But that can come with us having to work really hard for it. And it does depend on where it is in your chart as well, what can happen. So even though it is good on one hand, on the other hand, it can give us like, we can find a lot of blocks. We can find things are quite stagnated. We can find that we have to obviously work hard, and, you know, things may not come as easily as we want it. We may feel quite impatient. But on the other hand, you know, we do have it conjuncting Uranus in Taurus. And this is a, you know, a brand new cycle, which is going to be of benefit to a lot of us. Okay. It's going to conjunct Uranus in May the 21st. And obviously this is going to be shaking up stuff to do with like the banking system, agriculture, food, you know, fashion, business. Obviously it's going to affect Tauruses as well, of course, you know, your physical self. I will talk about that when I'm talking about, you know, your individual signs. But yes, it's going to be a big one, you know. But what this can bring is us getting like these like downloads, like something needs to shift, something needs to change. And even if we are resisting it, it's going to happen. Of course, this is going to be affecting all the fixed signs. You know, I mean, I personally am looking forward to the, you know, I as you guys know, I love conjunctions. I love, even though it can feel really harsh, I do like planet conjunctions, especially when they last for a very long time. But yes, I you know, like I said again, I love planets because it really is detrimental to what happens to us genetically. It's really detrimental to what happens to us, especially generational, you know. So that's one of the reasons why I'm looking forward to it. But obviously there's gonna be some shake-ups that come. And, you know, a lot of us may not like this, but a lot of us may actually benefit from this. If life has been very stagnated for us, when it hits Uranus, that's when the shake-up is going to come. So if we've been wishing for something for so long, it can happen. You know, if we're resisting something for so long, then we're going to be forced to change. So if you're being greedy, yeah, and then this happens, it's like, you know, you can find it, you're without. Like especially when it comes to like money and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a big one when this happens. So yes, Taurus is in the hot seat again. Tauruses, I know some of you are really enjoying this, but some of you are probably thinking, I just want to get on with my work. You know, you want to be doing that Venus thing. You know, you Tauruses, you're very sensitive. Tauruses in general are very sensitive to like emotional natures. And they're very, obviously, like intellectual signs, but they're also very grounded and very earthy. You know, you guys are Venus. This is about beauty. So when Uranus hits here, I mean, when Jupiter in Taurus hits here, these things are going to be magnified very big. We can see ourselves, some of us could be beautifying ourselves differently. Some of us could be eating more. I'm personally looking forward to eating more food, you know, whether it's grown or whether I'm buying it. I'm looking forward to changing like how I look, because, you know, I've got Venus in Taurus. I've also got the moon there too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to like the good things that come with this, guys. So let's talk about Venus in Taurus a little bit more. So another thing I was going to say, guys, look back on 12 years when Venus was in Taurus, and how was it for you? You know, feel free to let me know how it went. So yeah, so Venus in Taurus, Jupiter in Taurus it can bring on the whole like spirituality of the whole Tauran realm. So it's about luck, you know. So how we can get luck is obviously when we're putting the work in, we're not cutting any corners, we're being grounded. In a way, we're helping others, but also it's about how we, because, you know, Jupiter rules about opportunities and expression of opportunities and expansion of opportunities. And we can definitely, Jupiter in Taurus means that we can like attract wealth with, especially like material comforts. Because a lot of this can definitely, again, my mind's just going a little bit. But yes, we can definitely attract like wealth and opportunities. Essentially, guys, we can attract more. Because wherever Jupiter hits, it gives us this whole like, you know, you can get more of your gains, should we say, when we are doing what the sign rules. So for Taurus, it's like we can get a lot of like gains and good fortune when we are, you know, being a bit more charitable, being more generous, and being patient and working on our talents. And of course, this is to do with money as well. The other side to this is that we can feel the other sides of Jupiter and Taurus is like there could be, you know, Jupiter rules expansion. So there could be overeating, there could be gluttony, it could be very preachy, it could be very stubborn. I'm just combining these both together. And don't want to move, not helping others, being greedy. And that could be with anything, greedy with money, greedy with food, not wanting to share wealth, you know, not wanting to help others, not being charitable, you know. Yeah, and also there can be this like bullying nature that can happen. So obviously we're going to try and go to like the higher vibration. It's not going to be easy because Jupiter in Taurus is not the easiest to be in. You know, because remember, Taurus is very earthy. And Jupiter's very, it's fire, it's air, it's, you know, it's very like, let's just go big and go home. And Taurus is like, let's just take it easy. Let's just, you know, let's think about things. It's not going to be easy for a lot of us. So we're not going to be taking, you know, and with Jupiter being here, it's not about, Jupiter's about taking risks, and Taurus is not about that life. Okay? It's about doing things in a slow, concrete way. So we can work with this by, okay, we've got all these opportunities, but let's just take our time. You know, there could be lots of goals that we want to accomplish, and there may be things that we want to go very fast and go home, but we're going to be doing it in a grounded way. We're going to be taking our time. So I feel that even though it's not the easiest here, we can still use that, but by taking our time, but also still trying to go to that higher realm. Okay. The card that we have for this is the Tower card, because it's on the 16th of May. So it's the Tower, which is 16. And if you add that is 7, which is the Chariot. Now, we're in the Chariot year, guys. So the Chariot is about, you know, determination. In a way, it's about self-mastery. So I can feel that some of us may be very determined to, again, achieve our goals, earn money, help others, building wealth. Because one thing I do feel with Jupiter being in Taurus is that, you know, fingers crossed as well, that there could be more of a distribution to wealth. It's not going to be just about certain people having it. It's a distribution to all, you know. So, and also this is a higher vibration of the Cancer card. So, and also this is, Chariot is about traveling. So I feel that there could be more of a like determination to make the money travel type of thing. But listening to our senses, listening to our intuition, there's going to be things that are going to be coming to home, I feel, with this. But when we have it with the Tower cards, that's when, again, like I said, that's when we can see that the shadow side, good or bad, guys, really and truly good or bad. The Tower card can show us where, if we are being, you know, going to like the low vibration of it, what we can gain, but what we can also just lose. Okay, because even yeah, because remember, this is about trying to, you know, raise our vibration. And it's to do with, because Tauruses, I feel Tauruses are very generous, you know, especially with their family, and they are very generous. It's only when, the only time they can be greedy, or people feel that they're being greedy or stingy, is when they feel that it's not it's things are not, like, when it comes to money, it's not thought out, or, you know, they don't know the full story. If, like, they, especially if they're going to invest or they're going to lend, they can sort of like not hold on. Yeah, they can hold on, but they can also restrict funds if it's not, if something isn't is not making sense to them, because they need to have the whole story. So, but again, it can be extreme as well. So when we have the Tower card, it's like, the Tower card is saying to me is that it can go either way. So there could be like a big expansion when it comes to money that could be shared to others, especially people that are not as well off. But on the other hand, it could be that if you, again, it could be many things, but it could be like, if you're well off but you're being greedy, or you're hoarding, you're not sharing, or again, it could go the other way. And it could be of great, and it could go very quick. I'm not saying you're going to lose your money, but whenever Jupiter hits a sign, it just makes us be about what we're more aware of. And because it's and we're coming from fire and we're going into earth, we need to be able to understand, like, it's like the law of attraction, the law of attraction, where things flow. And Jupiter, which is ruled by Saggy, is a very spiritual sign. And Jupiter is about going on the great side. It's like, you know, our whole world is expanded into the future. But on the other hand, it's like we can go too hard, too fast, and just lose it all. So again, whenever it hits a sign, this is what can happen. So this is a great time, you know. So that's what this also, and again, that's what the Tower card is showing. It can go either way, but again, we're all going to be shocked, and some of us going to be quite surprised of the outcomes that will come. It will come thick and fast. There'll be things that are built up very quickly, and there's things that are going to be coming down very quickly. And that is definitely to do because Uranus is there too. So, yeah, so expect the unexpected, it's saying. But also expect to, there's like a sort of like assurance. And again, even going like to the Chariot card, is that, you know, again, I'm coming back to Cancer because it's ruled by Cancer, but I'm coming back to, there's going to be more of a strength to us. And it could be definitely be like a strength in numbers more than it is a strength for the self. I also feel that there's going to be more of a connection to, like, it's going to be like, regardless of what it is, but I feel like we're going to be more connecting to our senses. Whether it's smell, touch, especially our emotions. Remember, we're coming from Mars. When Venus is in the Mars sign, now we're going to Jupiter now Jupiter's in a Venus sign. So we're going to be very much connected to all of the Venus things, especially when it comes to like the maintenance of like the body, the mind, and the soul. I have picked out my cards for this, my own tarot cards that I made, guys. Some of you guys have heard this before, and these are like tarot messages, affirmations, whatever you call them. They're very grounded, they're very down to earth. So I've picked out 3 cards for the general collective, with Venus being in Taurus, Jupiter being in Taurus. So the first card is Fire Up Your Passion. I think we've picked this card before, but the first one is Fire Up Your Passion. So Taurus rules, again, like agriculture, the beauty industry, the fashion industry, acting, singing, especially writing. A lot of famous writers, Taurus. So when it says fire up your passion, you know, a lot of us will be rediscovering or discovering a passion that we have. And because Taurus is ruled by money, I feel a lot of us are going to be very passionate to invest in it. So fire it up. It's going to be coming from the ground up. And know that this is going to be, you know, this is a 12-year cycle, guys. So this is, think about for the next 12 years, especially when it conjuncts Uranus. This is going to be, you know, it's going to be like for the long haul. So even if you're feeling a bit not sure, you feel a bit stagnated in any way, there's going to be a fire up of passion. The second card is the pearl is in your wisdom. Take it what you will. So there is something that is of, it could be of beauty, of standard. There's something in there, guys, that is going to be, that's something special within us. That's what it means. The pearl is in your wisdom. So dig deep. Dig deep. I know some of you might be thinking, this sounds very ambiguous, but the pearl is in your wisdom. Think about it. The pearl is that jewel in the crown, and it's bringing you to like this subconscious and awareness of something that is hidden beneath you. Remember, we are dealing with earth here, so there's something deeper than what we actually know. The third card is they are not your people. Okay, I told you these are grounded cards. They are not your people. So we're going to find out who our people are, who our tribe is, who our friends are, even family, work life. You know, we're going to be finding out. And because Taurus is a sign that takes a while to let things go, I feel that once we find, and it doesn't, yes, it definitely means people, but it could be many things. It could be, it's not your job. It's not your passion. It's not for you. And I feel because it's here, because Taurus is a sign that, again, doesn't like to move quickly. It's going to take it. There's going to be a thing of, you're going to see it, then you're going to believe it, then you'll move. Because you'll find out, this doesn't move me. Doesn't make me feel happy. Doesn't make me feel like I want to get up in the morning. It doesn't make me want to move. Okay? So we're dealing with like the body as well. So when it says they are not your people, there's things that you were going to see that is really not for us under this Jupiter in Taurus. And because Jupiter's there as well, it's like, it's going to be expanding our mind to see it as well. It's like, oh, okay, time to move on. Okay, so that was the last card for this Jupiter in Taurus. So, because you know, we've moved from, you know, Jupiter in Aries, which actually rules the physical body. Jupiter in Taurus rules like the throat and the, you know, it's specifically the throat. So that's going to be definitely like highlighted for us, you know, what we're speaking and eating. But even when it comes to like wellness, I would say like, because a lot of us can actually feel very grounded, more grounded than usual. But because Jupiter's there, it can make us a little bit not as grounded as we want to be. So when it comes to like essential oils, I would use, me personally as well, but check with your practitioner, guys. Sandalwood is good. Lavender. I'm picking up rosemary as well to help boost the mind. And cedarwood and lemon. Lemon's very cleansing. Lemon's very, very cleansing. When it comes to like fitness workouts, because, you know, we come from something that's probably quite high intensity when it was in Aries. like sprints and doing all these, you know, boxing. Taurus is a very, again, earthy sign, but we're going to be expanded to try something a little bit different, but still keeping the realms of like what makes us feel good. A bit like yoga, you know, yoga with Adrienne, do what feels good. So, yes, so things that make you feel good, guys. So, Taurus doesn't like, is not a sign that necessarily likes to work out, but I feel with Taurus, it's like if you're going to work out, it has to be something that doesn't feel like a workout, you know. So slow jogging, walking, dancing as well, weightlifting. I noticed that a lot of Taurians are, especially because Uranus being that sign, a lot of Taurians are trying to like rebalance like their hormones, so things like weightlifting as well. Getting out in nature would be good to ground ourselves. Going to like nice restaurants, trying out different foods as well. Again, it's not going to be easy for a lot of us because a lot of us may be very much indulged. I feel a lot of us will be cooking a lot more from home too. So, of course, we want to, you know, balance that out. So those types of exercise, I feel, will be beneficial under Venus and under Jupiter in Taurus. Nothing too strenuous, you know, even if you're weightlifting. If you feel to do kettlebells, brilliant. You know, if you feel not to, just standard dumbbells. But something just to help strengthen the body. You know, because Taurus is, even if when I've listened to like, even when I was listening to like the, you know, the medical astrology, they don't have the best postures. And I'm talking as a Taurus moon. Our postures are not great. So things like weightlifting will help actually with the posture. And they help you keep you strong. And you'll also feel like you're not like burning yourself out. And another thing I was going to say, guys, is that I feel that when Jupiter's in Taurus, but even with Pluto in Aquarius, that people are trying to get their body a bit more stronger now. So a lot more people are weightlifting, especially like if you're older, like in your 40s, or a lot more people are weightlifting. So it's not going to be a big surprise that we're going to see a lot more push and positivity into weightlift. But obviously not going crazy, doing it at your own pace. But yeah, that's one thing I've actually observed. It's not going to be about having this sort of like standard of beauty on body. It's going to be like really strong. And I think because Uranus is in Taurus, we've got these conjunctions in Taurus that's happening for like last year we had it, this next year we're having it. There's going to be that sort of push to be like stronger body, but also working with your body as well. So guys, that was my theme for Jupiter in Taurus. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. But now let's get into the sign. Hello, Aries. So I think that a lot of you Aries are very grateful, very glad that Jupiter is no longer in your sign. It's been brilliant for some of you, a bit up and down for some of you. Probably topsy-turvy for a lot of you, but I think obviously I feel a lot of you gain a lot of knowledge. So now it's in your second house. It's come out of your first, now it's in your second house. So you're all about the money, tangible results. With Jupiter in your second, I feel obviously it might even feel like a bit like the first, you know, that you guys may be focusing on. When it was in your first, you was focused on yourself, but now it's in your second, you're focusing on your money and your gains, investing, stocks, bonds. I'm focusing what you're eating, focusing on what you, probably even how you're speaking, but even growing. This is actually a Taurus house, the second house anyway. So it's, you know, it might be a time where some of you are going to get a bit more grounded now. Life may not be as fast paced. Life will be slowing down a bit. Even you're looking at how you are earning money. You're looking at, this is to do self-worth. So if you've like just spent off a lot of money when Jupiter was in your first, maybe looking at, you maybe like slowing down, thinking about savings for your future. You know, Jupiter rules your 12th house, and it also rules your 9th house. And these are actually spiritual houses. So if you feel different when this happens, Aries, it's because, you know, you're going to be definitely going within, probably seeking guidance within, also listening to your intuition. If a lot of you are very lucky to come into money at this time, like money can expand and you want to protect it or invest it in some way, it's really great to be listening about slowing down, but listening to your intuition, because it will give you so many messages. It will give you so much guidance. And if you're even thinking of, you know, some of you may be quite cheeky and decide you want to invest in some sort of like secret project. You know, it could be a spiritual project. You could be wanting to put money in another country far away, you know, because, you know, you've earned this money, you've worked hard for it. Or you could decide you want to invest in a course. It could be, again, something spiritual. You could also want to invest in a skill, or even pay, because if you want to invest in a course which will be tangible for your career in the long run, it could definitely be something to do with learning a new language, which is what the 9th house is about. It's about high learning, even paying for university, wanting someone to help you, like a mentor. Or this could also involve this could also involve the law or courts. So some of you may find that you may have to pay money for lawyers, for instance, and it probably will go your way as well. So I just feel that anything you're going to be investing in, definitely for the long term, it's going to be like, again, for the long haul, but something really important. So the card that you have is the Knight of Wands. So there's something coming up. There's something definitely coming up. The Knight of Wands is about messages. So it could be messages from far away. You also could be hearing messages like, yeah, don't do this, don't do that. But that's definitely your intuition. It could also be a very busy time. You know, you yourself could be communicating with a lot of people now. People from different cultures or countries. But yeah, it does feel quite a busy time. Very hard working time. Don't be surprised as well, Aries, if I feel some of you could also be having loads of conversations when it comes to like business and contracts, and, you know, especially if you are doing any investments from different lands as well, they probably will definitely come thick and fast. You also definitely listen to what I said in the beginning, because, you know, the second house, it can be about greed. So yeah, take that with heat. But yeah, it's a very busy time. There's going to be a lot of communication back and forth going on, but it can also be a very profitable time too. Hello, Taurus. So Taurus, this is in your first house, and like what I said in the beginning, you know, it's going to be conjuncting Uranus, like this year, but also more next year. And also it's going to be squaring Pluto as well. So, of course, in the beginning, some of you may find that it's a bit more, you know, you may find that your luck is not there. You may have to find yourself, you have to push yourself a bit more when it comes in terms to like your career and your goals. But I feel that once that square goes, but also with Uranus there, it can really shock things within you. And a lot of these shocks, it can be very good. You know, you're going to be, I feel that you're never going to change your ways, Taurus. You're a very stubborn sign. Again, look back what happened 12 years ago when Taurus was in your sign. Obviously, Uranus wasn't there. When Taurus was in your sign, look back what happened. You know, there may have been an expansion of the family. You may have got a business. You know, your body may have changed. You may have, think lots of things changed. You know, you may have gotten more money, and this time it will be different because Pluto is here. But also, like I said before, you know, you're always going to be stubborn. you know. But with Uranus, it's going to be shaking so much things up, Taurus, that you may feel that you have no choice but to go to plan C or even D, you know. But I feel it will be good. I feel it will be good things. I feel it will be good things. You know, Uranus, I mean, Taurus rules. I mean, Jupiter rules your 11th, and it also rules your 8th house. So this is showing me that money, joint finances, like your finances could really grow with your partner. Even if you're investing in anything, it can definitely grow. And again, like Aries, really listen to what I said in the beginning, because you know you can exhibit the great things about Jupiter being there, like, you know, being stubborn but sticking to, you know what's right, but just being stubborn for stubborn's sake, not wanting to give even though you should. But you know, you may definitely become like the boss. You know, I could, especially the square to Jupiter, the square to Uranus, the square to Pluto. There could be like a boss element going on if you guys are working for yourself, or you decide, you know what, I need to break away, I need to work for myself. You could shock people. You know, your image can definitely change. You maybe look at your physical self very differently and think, you know what, I've heard, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is ruled by the hormones. And some of you your hormones may be just playing up, especially with Uranus being there. And you may think, I actually want to balance it. So things like strength training, you know, taking supplements, all those types of things you may be looking into. It's not to say that, you know, but you could become very obsessed, to be mindful of that. You may be very obsessed with, because, you know, Jupiter rules expansion. And when Jupiter went into my first house, I gained weight and I loved it. Obviously, I did feel a bit like heavy, but I loved it as well, because I felt I was eating lots of nice foods and I was indulging. Nothing wrong with overindulging, because I did that. So you may look at it differently, like you're going to be indulging, but it's going to be, you know, very different now, you know. And yeah, I feel that some of you may be doing different types of workouts, like changing up your hair, changing up how you dress, even probably working on your voice. Like, you may want to, if your voice is quite high pitched, you may want to make it more grounding. I feel that some of you may even, because Saturn's in your 11th house as well, so this can also bring, like, you know, an expansion of different friends coming in. And you know, you may be open up your mind slightly to like different types of spiritual work, because the 8th house is activated too. So, you know, you may be doing like deep psychological work on yourself. You may want to heal something within yourself. It could be to do with like a past relationship, or this is going to really expand your awareness about yourself, Taurus. About if you're happy within your job, if you're happy, you know, where you live, even to do with like your relationships. And yeah, you know, if you're physical, but also your mental. You know, Tauruses, if you're even thinking about doing some spiritual practice, you know, look into it. This is a great time. You might fear that it won't work for you, but you know, you will never know unless you try. And even there's certain people that will come into your life. Even your goals, these goals are going to be changing, Taurus. Big shifts in your goals, big shifts in, you know, you may decide that you want to be, I don't know, work in the corporate world, and next year you decide you want to be an artist. And you can afford to do it, Taurus. You definitely can afford to do it, because I feel that money can definitely come easier to a lot of you, especially if you've given back in the past. So yeah, lots of goal changes. The 11th house is also to do with people helping you, and that comes if you've helped others. Okay, and some of these friends can come, new people can come into your life in a whim, very sudden, very shocking as well. Again, there's going to be changes within your job. You know, I can actually feel some Tauruses like feeling quite restricted already. So I think this change might happen next year. Again, there could be changes within the family. You may decide to move home. It could be births of projects, births of new things, all these types of things. So the card that you have is a Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands, it can feel quite heavy, but I feel with a lot of you Tauruses, like, you know, it can feel like you're very, like, determined, but you want to sort of, like, stick to, like, sort of, like, old way. Some of you, the Nine of Wands is also about you, you know, being very protective and guarded about and defensive. And I feel that in one way that's really great, especially if you are doing something for your future. Remember, this is a 12-year new cycle for you. So I feel that it's great to have this type of defensive way that you're going to be having. You know, like I said before, you guys are never going to change being stubborn. You're just fixed. But then there has to be a bit of leadway for change. And some of you may resist that. This card is not even like a warning, but it's just like, just look at what you are holding on to. Look at what you are unwilling to change, and look what needs to change into your life. And, you know, there's definitely going to be like a fiery element to you guys as well. You guys are very different to how you were 12 years ago. Maybe it's because Uranus is there or even Pluto's there. But don't be, another thing, don't be surprised if a lot of you just get very mouthy under this Jupiter in Taurus. And I think it will, and this card is saying that it will help you in good stead, that no one will take the piss. But in other senses, it might, you need to really look at what you are unwilling to change about your life. Okay. Hello, Gemini. So, Gemini, Uranus. Well, Uranus is there, but you know, Jupiter in Taurus is in your 12th house. So this is a bit of a quiet time. Again, some of you may look back 12 years ago, how it was like in 2011, how it was. And now it's coming full circle, but it's different now because, you know, Uranus is there. And it's doing something very different. You know, Uranus is in your, it rules your 9th house. So even if it's in your 12th and 9th house, you know, the 12th house is a time of relaxing before it goes into your first. But also, because actually, when Jupiter goes into your first house, Gemini, you know, it's going to touch Pluto in Aquarius, and it's going to trine it, and it's going to be very, very powerful for you. So before we get into that power and change, we need to relax. We need to regroup. We need to think and rest. We need to think about if we're going to be helping others, not just ourselves. And if we are going to be spreading the word, should I say, it's for the better good. It's not just for it's not just for so you can speak, so you can be heard. It's actually helping others. 12th house is about charitable stuff, charitable works. Things that are hidden, like hospitals, shirums, hospices, and all those types of things. So some of you may be guided to do that. You know, Jupiter rules your 10th, and it also rules your 7th. So your relationships are going to be playing, it's going to be highlight, and your career. So this is showing me that you might be thinking of doing something different in your career, doing something different within your relationships. You may not be saying it, maybe just thinking about it on the down low. You guys could also be feeling, it could be like a huge psychic element that, you know, changes come. You may be seeing changes and are probably willing to try and do it, but it's just saying now's not that time. But yeah, if any of you are single, there could be secret relationship, but there could also be expansion on your psychic spirituality rising up now. So try and listen to that, Geminis, because it will help you when it goes into your first house. And also, I feel that even if you are at work, you guys may just retreat and want to go within. And I also feel that some of you may see certain things that other people are not seeing. So you, for instance, you may see that, you know, so much people are leaving the job, or there may be redundancies or something like that. But no one's clicking on except you. But you're probably seeing that, you know, something is folding, or not necessarily people are not happy, but something is definitely changing. Because this is highlighting your 10th and also your 7th house. And also this is to do with contracts too. So there could be contracts that you want to sign, or it's about, again, I feel that there's definitely changes coming, but it's going to be, you're going to be looking at it from within than from out. So the card that you have is a 5 of Cups. And the 5 of Cups, whenever we see this card, it's like, you know, changes are coming. It's a very emotional card. It's like you are, I feel some of you are willing to change and walk away from things, but something could be definitely holding you back. And the 12th house is about losses. It's about, you know, what we're willing to let go of. So this card is saying that there's a lot of things that you're going to be having to work on a spiritual basis, an emotional basis, relationships, your jobs. If things start to like sort of like dissolve or move away, it's because, again, it needs to. But there's nothing to be feeling sort of like frightened of. There's also nothing to feel, nothing to fear as well. I am picking up, there's an unwillingness, a bit like Taurus. There's a lot of unwillingness happening. But once something's dissolved, Gemini, is something brand new is coming in. And you yourself definitely will feel very sensitive during this transit. But still, there can be expansions. Just going to be more on a spiritual basis. In the sense of, oh, why didn't I do this a long time ago? You know? But yeah, it's a big spiritual time for a lot of you Geminis. And take it easy. Hello, Cancer. How are you? So you're going to benefit, like I said in the beginning, like you, Capricorn, Pisces, Scorpio. Well, in a way, Scorpio, Pisces, really going to benefit from this Jupiter being in your 11th house. Last time it happened, again, I'm going to say it to all the signs, 12 years ago, look what happened then. Obviously, it's different because Uranus is here. And also with the square to Pluto in your 8th. So there's going to be like a deeper meaning with this. There's going to be like a deeper leanings when it comes to anything to do with like your finances. But also this is definitely to do with like groups and associations and your friends. There's going to be changes here. There's going to be an expansion. There's going to be new groups, new friends. You probably, either they come to you or you'll be seeking them. New goals. Your goals are changing. Cancers. And it's got an element and feeling of about time too. So there's going to be this scene as well where it's going to trine Saturn in your 9th. So yeah, there's going to be a lot going on for you Cancers, but I feel it's definitely going to be in a good way. We ain't going to forget this in a hurry. We've got this new cycle that's happening next year when it conjuncts Uranus in your 11th. And there's going to be like this sort of like big self-awareness of what you are about, where your goal zone dreams are. Are you being stagnated in some way? You need shift, you need a change. You want to be an independent person from a group, or do you want to be part of a group, but you still want to remain some type of, you know, being yourself. But I do see a lot of new opportunities coming for you, Cancer. But this is also about you putting yourself out there. You know, if any of you guys are, because your Jupiter rules your 9th and it also rules your 6th. So elements to do with your wellness will definitely come into play. But your wellness when it comes to who you're associating yourself with. Because Cancers, there's going to be loads of, you know, there's going to be people new people are going to come into your life. You know, some of them could be energy vampires, but some of them could also be your people, your tribe, your group. So protecting your mental is of great importance now, but being organized. There's going to be so much things coming for you, Cancer, that you may not feel that whether you're coming or going. But also with Taurus ruling your 11th, this can see that there can be people that come into your life that will be for the next 12 years, or if you didn't have people that came into your life 12 years ago, you may have that chance now. But they'll be loyal. They may be quite quirky or eccentric, but, you know, they'll be your people. And that's also to do with what you want for your future. Things may feel quite stagnated. So this is really great to be doing some self-healing work, self-help work, reading up, doing, you know, going to that spiritual realm. It could be manifesting. It is actually a great manifesting time for a lot of you Cancers. Manifesting your dreams. It does feel that whatever you believe in, it definitely can happen. You just have to just believe in it and not think of the past hurts. Because, of course, this can really happen. And, you know, if things didn't work out 12 years ago, I feel it will work. Remember, Pluto was in your 7th while this happened. So, of course, you know, you had oppositions, you had psychic and spiritual attacks. But now things are different. Saturn's in your 9th, you know, and Jupiter rules it. So I feel that if you are going to go down to that spiritual realm of, I don't know, meditating and reading up about spiritual work, even learning more about yourself now and learning about people who you are surrounded by, it's going to be great. Because the card you got is the 8 of Pentacles, and this is like getting down to work. This is like taking things seriously now. It's 12 years ago you were thinking, maybe now it's the time to do it. If you see yourself, Cancers, because remember 11th house is like the future house. It's a house of gain. So I feel that if you see yourself speaking like a language fluently, if you believe that you can, it could happen. If you see yourself, I don't know, working for yourself, being an artist, being a, I don't know, spiritualist or guru. If you see yourself being a writer, anything like that. It could be anything, even a chef. If you believe it and not think, oh, but in the past, this is what happened, it definitely can work. You know, the 8 of Pentacles is about the apprentice. It's like, you know, you're thinking it, just do it. You know, it's not going to be easy, you know, but even little steps is better than none. So, yeah, even though this is a card of hard work, it's also a card of, like, groundedness. I feel that a lot of you will be more grounded now as well. Hello, Leo. So, Leo, this will be hitting you like all the other fixed signs. This is in your 10th house of career, status, goals, bosses. So there could definitely be expansion on this, especially if Uranus being there. There could be like a sudden shock realization and change that's happening with your, you know, with your career. Even like your status in your relationship. You could be promoted. You could decide to work for yourself. Like I've been saying a lot actually whenever Uranus hits the 10th. You could change jobs. You could be the boss. There's a lot that can really happen. And, or you could even decide, because Uranus rules your 7th, you could decide you want to work with your partner. So you could work from home with your partner. You can go into business, a new business partnership. Yes, there can be some niggles that happen because you may find you have to put a lot more effort and a lot more work into your career, you know, and also family. You know, you may have to find that you have to balance like your home, your family life, even like your social life as well. You could be feeling extremely ambitious now. You could even feel very overly passionate, overly passionate. It could be an obsession that comes with this. I feel some of you Leos may feel that if you don't go like, it's not even, yeah, it could be like going hard on your career and, you know, scooping up all these opportunities and possibilities. It's because you may feel that if you don't do it now, you're going to lose out. But I feel with you Leos, they'll always be there. You know, there could be that fear because, you know, Jupiter rules your 8th and it also rules your 4th. Sorry, it rules your 5th. So, you know, like I said before, this is to do with, you know, fears and obsessions. And also, it also could feel like, you know, you may have felt that you haven't got enough, the money's not there. So when you do have this new job or new position, or that this status change, that money comes to you, but you have to feel you have to keep a tight rein and a tight hold on it. And this could do with your partner's finances as well, like, you know, looking at your bank accounts and checking everything. It could wind your partner out. It could just probably annoy them. But this is also good because Jupiter rules your fifth. This is also great to be expanding on possibilities concerning creativity. And if, you know, I feel that a lot of you may see where, you know, the fun is not in your life and you may want to have a bit more fun. So looking at your skill set, looking at your goals, looking at what you love, what you like to create is going to be definitely highlighted here. And the card that you have is a Knight of Wands. So things are moving fast. You know, your mind, and I can see a lot of you Leos doing lots of brainstorming. Like, you know, when you have like these business meetings, you're going to be wanting to be around people that are like innovative, creative, and having new, fresh ideas. These new, fresh ideas could even come from you. But also with you Leos, you need the right people around you. So if you haven't got that, you'll feel no way to be calling up this person, calling up that person, hiring this one, hiring that one. Or even if you're working for someone, you want to be in like the best job, the best career. But also remember, Leos, that whatever you're choosing, because, you know, Jupiter rules greed. Whatever you're choosing, choose the right thing and choose it from the heart. Okay. Yes, there may be some confusion that can come with this, but choose it from the heart, because the fifth house is highlighted. And also your relationships are highlighted. You don't want to miss out on like the most important things to you. So that's one of the reasons why I feel that choosing from the heart, like you got 10 opportunities that come. Even if you choose 2, it's because you are passionately drawn to this. Okay. And that's what the Knight of Swords is saying. Things are coming, they're charging. You know, even you yourself are, you know, your mind and your mental agility is very high alert as well. But also making sure you take time for your personal life and even like your family too, because it's going to be a very busy time. Hello Virgos, you're going to be loving this because, you know, you had, you know, before you had Jupiter in your 5th in Capricorn, then it was in your 6th. So, you know, you were coming home. But now it's enough. Then it was in your 8th. So it was about your joint finances. But now it's about your 9th house. This is going to trine you. Especially you early degrees Virgos. You're going to be loving this. You know, this is going to be great if any of you who are into, you know, because you and Tauruses get on very well. This is a great opportunity for you guys to travel. Really like reading all these like different types of books, because this is about expanding your world view on things. You could say expanding your horizons and aligning yourselves with people who are very different to you. You're a very smart sign anyway. You know, you're ruled by Mercury, so your mind, your higher vibration is going to be very high. And, you know, some of you Virgos, you know, feel free to let me know if you're thinking of going back to college, taking a degree. It could be a law degree, anything like that. It could also be anything to do with publishing. So, you know, because Jupiter rules your 7th, which is to do with your relationships and contracts, and it also rules your 4th. So this is showing me that there's things that are coming back to home for you. There are things that are coming, you know, yes, you could definitely be in 2 minds about things, but I can see some Virgos like really, if you're like in a tight relationship, just talking to your partner, because you know, you want to do all these things. You want to do like, I don't know, you want to like study, you want to publish your book, or you want to work in publishing, or you want to travel, and you may not be able to make up your mind. So it's again really great to talk to your partner about this, because again, a lot of the signs are going to be very they're going to really benefit from this Jupiter in Taurus, and you're one of them. So yes, so again, you like Geminis are really great writers. I found that if you got like a Virgo or Gemini in your chart, they make great writers. So this is a great time to be getting any of your work out there. If you've been working on it since Jupiter's been in your 6th or even your 5th. So this is a time where a lot of your works can be shown to the wider world, the wider audience. And some of you may decide you want to teach, be a mentor to like the younger generation. So yeah, it feels all around all good. Remember, Uranus is in your 6th, so you know, you may find that your routine could be either you're switching it up or it could be changing. So it's like rolling with those punches. Even you may have this end goal and then it just changes. So, you know, you may feel like, it's not like annoyance, but it's just like, okay, how come this changes so quick? So it's like trying to go with it. So yeah, there's lots of changes within your routines. Again, with Uranus ruling your 6th. Yeah, I mean, Uranus is going to conjunct Uranus. So yeah, of course, a lot of things will change. But also because it rules your 6th, you know, keeping healthy. This will help you not get anxious and fretting that things are not going to go well. You know, things are out of your control. So, you know, keep on your, you know, your wellness routine. But again, there's nothing bad I can say about this. I just think that there's so much possibilities that will come, especially when we have that conjunction in Uranus next year. And it's going to be for the next, I don't know, like over 10 years. There's a lot of things coming for you, great things coming for you. So the card you got is a 2 of Pentacles, and this is a money card. And it's showing that, you know, you're going to be juggling. There's going to be a lot of juggling. You could have 2 incomes coming, either from a personal, something you're doing personal, or something you're doing for others as well. And it could be something else. So you're going to be juggling so many things at once. And this is showing me that there definitely has to be a choice to be made, so you don't spread yourself too thin. So again, look at what's most important for you in this busy period. And it's not going to be just for like a year. It's going to be for a very long time for a lot of you Virgos. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens. But yeah, it's again, a lot of tangible material results are going to be coming for a lot of you Virgos. Hello Libra, how are you? So this is in your 8th house, this Jupiter in Taurus, and you know you've got Uranus there, which conjuncts it. This is going to be, it can actually feel quite a lot, but you know, whenever Taurus is hitting you, because of the Jupiter, because of the Venus connection, you guys tend to be okay or even great. But this is in your 8th house of shared resources, debts, loans, rebirth, fears, worries, taxes. This can show that, you know, it's not saying it's not a great time, but if a lot of you are, if you keep borrowing, basically, this can explode. There'll be a lot that you have to pay. And if you've paid it off, you could get gains. You're thinking, what do you mean? So, of course, think back 12 years ago. You know, what happened 12 years ago when it came to like your finances, your shared resources, anything to do with like taxes, even sexuality and your intimacy. What happened? If nothing really great happened now, because remember last time, Saturn was in Libra. So there may have been restrictions in that. But now Saturn's in your 6th house. So there's like you finding a way to be a bit more, you know, taking care of yourself. And this definitely goes to the intimacy level, but it also goes to the transformation stage. But, you know, we have the square to Pluto, which is in your 5th house. And, you know, I feel it can be such an intimate time for a lot of you, I'm going to say. You know, Uranus is in your rules your 5th, so there's going to be lots of changes when it comes to like creativity, things to do with children. Even in Vedic astrology, the 8th house is to do with conception. So some of you 12 years ago may have had a kid or some kids, and you know this could happen again. But now, because you've got different outer planets happening, this could be a very different time. Like you may feel that I'm going to do it differently now, or it could even be better. I don't think it could be worse. It can actually be better. Like you'll know what you're doing more. So when it comes to like your finances, if you do find yourself in a bit of a niggle, you can find that you can work with it more. And because it's about shared resources, your partner could come into money, which actually benefits you. It could increase things for you. And, you know, even like your intimate relationships could really increase as well. I feel some of you may feel, because this is in conjunction, but I feel a lot of you may feel more in touch with your partner, more in touch with yourself, more in touch with money, like knowing what to spend, what to save, what to, you know, even if it comes to inheritances as well, you know, because Jupiter rules your 6th and it also rules your 3rd. So the 3rd is of the mind. And it's like, okay, last time I probably spent way too much, but now I'm going to be spending cleverly. Now that I'm not going to get myself into any debts or anything, I feel like some of you may be on point now, you know. Again, like Virgos, the 6th house is being activated. So if you're doing any wellness things to heal yourself or keep yourself healthy, continue to do it because it will help ground you as well. I'm picking up swimming for some reason. Some of you may be swimming. But yeah, even like a tax refund can come. A new inheritance can come. So even though it may feel that nothing's happening, all of a sudden these things can happen. So the card you got is the Tower card. So whenever you've got the Tower card, it can feel very, oh my God, things are going to be bad. I feel that certain things can come up that can shock you. Like a partner can say something that shocks you. Let's try something different. Or even like a bill or a tax could come and it shocks you. It can come out of the blue. Or there could be a break that comes up. Remember, Uranus is in your 8th as well. But Uranus rules your 5th. So there can be some shocking revelations that can come. It could be to do with, you know, your family, or even like if you've got children, they could be saying, oh, daddy, you know, or mummy, I've won this award, or, you know, there's something shocking that can really come and it could really shock you, good or bad. But again, like I said before, the shocks that could come is that your partner comes into money, or you get like an inheritance, or, you know, you get, you know, things just come out of the blue that you never even believe could ever happen. So yeah, feel free to let me know how this goes for you, Libra. And yeah, that's your Jupiter in Taurus. Hello, Scorpio. So how are you? So this is going to be opposing you, Jupiter in Taurus, in your 7th house. And it can feel quite mad for you guys. Like, you know, it's like you're putting something out there, or you're, you know, when it comes to your relationships and something just crazily happens, you know, with that conjunction to Uranus. Uranus rules your 4th. So this definitely could be to do with family that can shake up things in your relationship. Whether it's a move of home, something needs to fix in the home, or something happens in your relationship, like a make, a break, someone from the past, you know, or there could be an open intimacy in your relationship, like you're talking more, you're communicating more. There could be a marriage, things can get more serious as well. There could be a new business contract that can come, or there could be, it could be business, or it could definitely be personal, working with your partner. This is to do with contracts as well. So I feel that a lot of you really want to establish things. You know, it's not going to be easy with Uranus in your 7th too. There could be a lot of establishments. But remember, Jupiter also rules your 5th, okay, as well. It rules your 2nd and your 5th. So what this is showing me that is there could be an expansion when it comes to money, okay? So it can actually help benefit you in the long run. But also, if you want to invest in something, you know, even because 5th house is about gambling and speculative gambling. So you might feel lucky to do that. Like, I'm going to buy that lottery ticket and bam, you win millions. You know, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it could happen. You can feel more creative, more, you know, you want to have a bit more fun in your relationship. You know, if you've got children as well, there could be some changes that happen there. Again, there could be an expansion with children. You know, you just never know what can happen. But yeah, but there could be a bit more energy when it comes to your relationships. You know, there could be definitely you seeking more pleasure, seeking something maybe just a little bit different. But this, because it opposes you, this can bring some problems that have not been spoken about, that needs to be spoken about now. It's about being honest. I feel that there's going to be a bit more honesty, and I feel with honesty does come a bit more commitment. I feel also with this, some of you could see where you're lacking fun, where you're lacking that passion, that spark, because there might be this essence of putting so much onto career and, you know, money, but then you lose that essence of your relationship. So this is great to be solidifying your, or consolidating your relationship, okay? And that could be through a marriage or an engagement as well. So yes, so another thing I can see that some of you may also, yeah, I feel money can come from you, helps your partner, and also vice versa. Yeah, so there could be definite things, and don't rule out seeking help from others as well, i.e. counseling, or, you know, if things are, if you feel that things are really bad, Scorpio, and you're too stubborn, I feel that, you know, this could really help. You know, I feel like this could really help, especially if you feel that it's going to be for the long haul. Because, you know, Taurus rules your 7th, and this is definitely, even though you have your 5th house activate in your 2nd and your 4th house, this is definitely to do with your relationship. This is going to be like an all-over theme that could be happening. So the card you got is the Queen of Cups. And it's a very emotional card. It's a card that is to do with your emotions on a deeper level. I feel with a lot of you Scorpions that, you know, some of you may be in a relationship with the Queen of Cups. Some of you may be seeking a relationship with the Queen of Cups. You know, these things, you know, especially Uranus being in your 7th as well. I feel some of you may be looking back on past relationships. And especially if any of you who are single, you know, there can be this thing of wishing for that partner you had in the past, or you meeting up with that person and actually revealing your feelings, or even in your relationships as well, that you're actually just revealing things that you try to keep hidden, or some things that you try to control. But the Queen of Cups is saying, you know, just to be a bit more open, let your emotions out, not hide, because now's not really that time. And even if you do hide, it will come out when you least expect it. So, you know, the sensitivity and the feelings are going to be flowing regardless of what happens. Even in the business, you know, you're going to be, if you're not happy, you're going to say it. Like, I'm not happy with this. It's not going to be helping my self-worth in any way. You know, I've done this, so why isn't my contract saying that? You're going to be saying it, but it's going to be it's not going to be an aggressive, it's going to be very much in a passionate way. So yeah, let all your emotions out during this time. Hello, Sagittarius. How are you? So this is in your 6th house, Jupiter in Taurus. And because you're ruled by Jupiter, You know, this is going to be a grounding one. This is going to be very, very grounding. You know, I'm not sure, some of you guys probably had a lot of fun when Jupiter was in your 5th. But now we're taking care of like our health and our wellness and restructuring our routines. So what can this bring? It can bring new work. It can bring a lot of work. It can bring an expansion of work. Some of you may have wished for being a bit more productive, and now it's like, okay, this is what you wish for. Some of you may have wished that you want to be a bit more organized, and it's like, let's do this. So the 6th house is a Virgo house, about attention. This is about details. So you guys may not want to be around too much people during Jupiter in Taurus, and you want to be working and making sure there's no stone unturned. This is about your co-workers as well. So, and also service to others. So some of you may decide that you want to work for others, or even working for yourself, but you are helping someone. You're helping people. And it could be anything to do with the medical fields, or anything to do with like holistic therapy, holistic health. Some of you may find that you may ground in a grounding way, because you're ruled by Jupiter, and because you are a physical sign, you like to be physically active. Some of you may do like workouts differently. So if you are very like high intensity, for instance, you may want to do more low impact, because you find that, you know, your muscles are a bit tight. So you may be doing more low impact, maybe do more eccentrics, more stretching, more yoga. You may want to get more to that sort of like higher realm of being, you know, just connecting to yourself spiritually, taking more herbs, maybe growing more herbs in the garden. This is about healing your body, okay? So yeah, it's very much a healing time. And because you're ruled by Jupiter, you are very much about, you know, in a way preaching, but also helping others through the power of words. So yeah, a great time to be helping others heal themselves and teaching people. But, you know, Jupiter rules expansion of, you know, gluttony. So, you know, some of you may be on that health kick, but some of you may be finding you're eating more and you're not really taking care of yourself. And if anything happens, that's when you start taking care. So really listen to that higher vibration, really listening to yourself. But it can actually be a very positive time for a lot of you, because you're ruled by it, and it rules your 4th as well. So if you've been wishing to work from home, I feel some of you will. This is going to be squaring Pluto in Aquarius. So this is to do with your 3rd house. So again, higher realms of how you're communicating with people. I feel people will listen. If you're going to be, I feel some of you would probably, again, work for yourself, go into business. This is to do with like contracts as well, signing documents, writing as well. You may have to try your best to be as organized as you can, because, you know, whatever you're going to be doing, Sagittarius, people will be listening and believing in you. But yes, working from home, being around home, even your family could help. Even your family could help. So the card you got is the Star card. Very positive card for you, Sagittarius. Again, I feel if any of you, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon or Rising, are really looking to get to that spiritual realm of healing and medicines and, you know, changing up where you work, because it might be hindering you in some way, the Star card is a positive time for it. And it may come when you least expect it, like someone who knows someone, or even you could be doing like a blog or a podcast, and, you know, people want to work with you. Like, how do you know about that workout? How do you know about that type of superfood? And how do you know about growing your own herbs and veg? This is just like an example. Your business, if you're doing a business, it can grow. Because we're moving into a time now, Sagittarius, where people are growing food from their home. They're growing it through their garden. They are making their own medicines. They are doing all of these things for the self. So the Star card is a Aquarius card, which rules your 3rd. So you're higher mind is going to be activated to like the future. So if you are doing anything like that, that's going to be healing people and healing yourself, reading is of importance, and concentrating, getting down to the nitty gritty. I feel actually quite excited for a lot of you Sagittarians. Know that you're going to be working very hard, but work smart. Really work smart. And also, yeah, you know, and try and keep on that even keel. Because again, there could be lots of changes within the job. But I feel that a lot of you will be making these changes, and it will be for the better good. Hello, Capricorns. How are you? So, Capricorns, Jupiter in Taurus is in your 5th house. You know, you got Uranus there as well. So there's changes that's happening for you guys. There's some shocks and turns and crazy announcements. You know, especially next year when it conjuncts, it's going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know, you got Pluto square to your 2nd. So, again, I don't feel it's going to be bad for a lot of you. I feel it's going to be more of a case of, you know, Pluto rules your 11th. So, you know, there could be gains that can definitely come through, you know, through friendships, organizations. But on the whole, for a lot of you Capricorns, this is a very enjoyable time. Very much an enjoyable time. The square to your 2nd is, I just feel it's not like you working, having to work really hard for your money. It just feels like probably working hard to keep your money, because the 5th house is about gambling, but it's also to do with, you know, passion projects and also dating. So you may find that you get a lot of suitors, even if you're, whether you're single or whether you are in a relationship, you might get a lot of people after you. And even if you feel that I'm not that great, some of you may feel that I'm not dressed, I don't wear makeup, I don't wear it, but people will just be drawn to you. You know, a lot of people, I feel a lot of people could be asking a lot of you Capricorns out. If you are single and you are dating and mingling, you may find that you're spending more. So I feel the square will be telling you like just to rein it in, which might be new for a lot of you, because you guys are very good at, you know, saving your money. But still, but you know, Jupiter rules your 3rd, and it also rules your 12th house. So what this shows for me is that, you know, you guys definitely can be doing some like spiritual work. Definitely doing some spiritual work, because the mind, you know, how you're communicating, but what's going on in the mind. But if you're like struggling in some way about what creative endeavor you can do, you know, go into that spiritual realm of like, okay, I'm just gonna like sort of like meditate and listen to myself, or just being alone and listening, you'll get a lot of answers, Capricorns. A lot of, even if you've got children, they could be very inspirational. Again, there could be a lot of expansion when it comes to creativity. So you may think you're creative in this thing when something else comes, but you'll be working hard on it and you'll be refining it. Some of you may be actors, some of you may be writers, some of you may be thinkers, or even start to free think. You know, you may be, this is a great time to be writing and blogging. This is a great time to be writing down your thoughts. You just never know what can happen now, Capricorn. This could turn into a different career, especially if you're tapping in to the self, listening to the self, trusting your intuition. Brilliant time. Again, I think like Cancers, if you believe something can happen, it will happen. You just have to believe it, not think there's a catch. So if you want a steady partner, even though it's the 5th house, it's about fun, it could happen. If you want children, I believe this could happen. If you want to dress differently, if you want to be a bit more confident, if you want to do, I don't know, certain creative projects, or, you know, because remember, Jupiter rules your 2nd, your 3rd, and this is about the expansion of the mind. So this is what I personally believe. But we're not all, you know, Capricorns, you're very grounded. And I feel it's good to think, oh, it might not happen. I think it's good to think like that. But that only happens if we put blocks in our way. So dare to dream, dare to be different in your own way. So the card you got is the Two of Swords. And it's funny you got this card because I feel it's definitely like a block that's happening for a lot of you Capricorns. Like, you may feel that, you know, even if you look back 12 years ago, I feel a lot of people didn't think, like let's just be honest, 2010, 2011 was like the lost years. The 2010s were the lost years. It wasn't the greatest decade at all. Like I said in my other one, if you benefited, it's because of it was a generation that benefited. And also because Pluto was in your sign as well, you may have felt the pressure. But the pressure's not there so much. So I feel that definitely for a lot of you Capricorns, that it's going to be a bit more easier now. I feel you're going to be looking at yourself differently, looking at your relationship differently. And I feel that some of you, when you dig deep, you'll find that, even if it's a creative spark, but I feel that you'll find this inner confidence that will shine from within. There's no wonder a lot of people be coming to you, but still the Two of Swords is, I feel, is more of a block. Even though it's the two is about choices, I feel that some of you, there's things that are in your face, but you just don't want to deal with it, or you're hiding from it. Shine. It's time to shine, Capricorns, you know, because you're worth it. Hello, Aquarius. How are you? So this is a big one, like for you and all of the fixed signs. This Jupiter in Taurus is in your 4th house. And, you know, you've got Pluto, which is squaring. So what can this bring for you, Aquarius? This can bring an expansion on things to do with your home. The home is about roots. Excuse me. It's about your family. It's about the past. So we can see a lot of these themes shining through in a good way. Because obviously you've got to talk about the good with the, you know, not so good. So yeah, this is about your home and family, about property as well. So this can see a lot of you, you know, surrounding yourself or being around family. Or people you consider family, and sharing stories. And, you know, 4th house is also, it's a Cancer house. It's about security as well. So if some of you are very lucky, because Pluto is in your 1st house, some of you may be very lucky when it comes to money. You could be investing in many homes, building homes, or even building like community homes for people. Or if you're a billionaire, you could definitely be building homes for people, you know, people that can't afford. You could be building homes that are very affordable. It could be flats as well. So this is showing there could be lots of opportunities for you to buy, sell, rent, all of that. Obviously, it's for financial gain because we are talking about Taurus here, but it's also to do with community. If you're not doing that, great time to be redecorating your home, fixing stuff that needs to be fixed as well, making things, you know, tidying up your house, making things a bit more spacious. But, you know, yeah, that's like the good side, I would say. It could come. And also expansion in a way, or even connecting with your family more, like your mom, your dad, if they are, you know, still here. Delving deep into your, I was going to say family traditions, that could be a thing, but delving deep into your background, learning about the history of your family, your lineage, hanging out with family more. If you've got a family, you might be taking it a bit more seriously, going on holidays. You know, you could be joining your family and your partner's family together, you know, really connecting and having fun, but also just, yeah, I feel in a way some of you may be taking it seriously. And, you know, my mind is definitely just going back on, you know, you guys like investing. Even when I said about some of you who are financially secure, investing and helping others, this is a great time to be doing it. The 4th house is not an easy house for everyone because it does deal with the past. So it could be a shadow sign. Remember Pluto, because Jupiter rules your second, and it also rules your your 11th house. So there can be some gains that come from learning from this. I would feel, because you're ruled by the 11th house. So even when I spoke about money and, you know, helping others, this is definitely like a second house thing, a Pisces thing. And yeah, and your career, your family and your career is also highlighted here, because Uranus, because you're ruled by Uranus. Actually, you're ruled by Uranus. Sorry, I think of Taurus. You're ruled by Uranus, so there's going to be some changes that you're going to be experiencing, and also with Pluto being there, you're being transformed. So if I put this all together, I feel a lot of you will be transformed, but also it could be like a change of your mind or change of your way of thinking about how your family is. So if you've been around your friends who you consider family because you don't want to be around your own because of, you know, whatever's happened, you can now start to heal that. Especially if you're connecting more with your parents, specifically with your mum. So, and also, you know, when we don't want to really connect with our family, it's because of certain traumas or certain hurts. I feel you're going to be healing that now. A lot of healing of the rifts. Taurus always wants us to come back to home and ground. So this is going to be a big one for you, Aquarius. So the card that you have is the 10 of Cups. Beautiful card. This is about, you know, things actually being very positive. I feel whatever's going to be transferring now is going to be for the positive. It's going to be for, it's not even about for your better good. It's just that you're coming to a space of healing. And I feel that it could come definitely from friends. It could come from you helping others, but also you healing. You're healing any traumas, family traumas, past family things. This is also you not, this is all about forgiveness as well. Definitely about forgiveness and coming into a better space. Like you feel that now, if like, especially if you've been estranged, that you feel that now you can talk to your parents. If you feel that you're not really open emotionally, you can understand where that comes from. So this is going to be a different side to a lot of you Aquarians now. Okay. So yeah, you got a beautiful card in the 10 of Cups. It's just showing that family, family are coming together, and there's going to be a bit more openness and also a bit more clarity that I feel that everyone needs, and especially you. Hello, Pisces. Thank you for waiting. So Pisces, Jupiter in Taurus is in your 10th, is in your 3rd house. And because you are ruled by Jupiter, it also rules your 10th house as well. So what we can see with this, other themes that we can see with this is that, again, there's going to be some, remember 12 years ago, Pisces, you know, Jupiter in Taurus, we had Saturn was in your 8th. So some of you may not have felt the benefits, you know, this is about your joint finances. It may have been a very tight emotional time for you. And you may have not felt that whole Jupiter thing, but now it's in, Saturn's in your sign, okay? During Jupiter in Taurus, it's going to feel very different. I feel you're going to benefit from this a lot. So the 3rd house is about communication. It's about education. It's about short distance travel, transport, your siblings, your neighbors, your neighborhood. Okay, it's also to do with contracts as well. So all of these themes could be coming thick and fast. I feel if any, again, I say writing a lot because I'm a writer, but I feel if any of you Pisces didn't write last time, it's a great opportunity to do that. If you decided you wanted to be a blogger, if you wanted to do a podcast, if you wanted to even because remember, when Uranus comes into this as well, there's gonna be changes within your home, your neighborhood, stuff to do with your neighbors and even your siblings, but also getting these major downloads in, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna write. I'm gonna work for a newspaper. Or I'm gonna start like a little media thing. I'm going to be a poet. I'm gonna, you know, you're a dreamer, but I feel that this is gonna give you that sort of oomph and that push to just do it. Get your stuff out there. Get your communication out there. This is a time to express in yourself positively, of course. You know, any of you who want to teach, or yeah, it could be higher learning in a way, but I feel that there's a lot of opportunities that can, you know, present themselves. Remember, Saturn being in your sign is giving you that sort of like stability to keep on track. So it's going to be a better time now. Okay. And even if you want to, even if it comes to like short distance travel, it can go well. Some of you may invest in a car or a bike, you know, because you may want to discover different parts of your neighborhood, for instance. So yeah, expect to be busy. Expect to be very busy. Lots of emails, lots of communicating, making new friends as well. Again, like I said, there could be some contract. It's a very positive time for a lot of you. And, you know, if you guys are in the selling business, or if you're doing like media work, or if you want to work in the media, try and know this can happen too. Whether you're working for yourself, whether you're setting yourself up, whether you are publishing in a way, if you are putting any writing out there, I can actually see some Pisceans putting out short stories. You know, this is a brilliant time to be doing this, Pisces. Especially with Uranus being there, this can give you so much like information and downloads. And, you know, it squished Pluto in your 12th house. Pluto rules your 9th. So this gives you a sort of like a deeper meaning of your words. This sort of gives you like a deeper meaning of, again, your actions. But this can also help you to release anything as well. Like release what you want to say. Release what you want to put out there. This could be a healing time. This could be a very healing time. It could be healing themes to do with like your friends, and also healing things to do with like siblings too. Again, I feel what can help you, because Uranus being in your 3rd can really activate your mind and make you just run wild. It could rev up your your mind, your nervous system. It's great to, if you are doing meditation, it's great to continue to do it. It's great to like really continue to heal your body, but heal your, if you're, like I said, if you're doing any type of spiritual work, but any type of physical work, I feel that a lot of you should continue, if you can, to do it, because this will help ground you. The 3rd house is not a grounding house. So the card you got is the Moon card, which is your card. This can make a lot of you... the Moon card is very much, again, it's your card, but it's also like a Cancer. So it can... On one hand, it can make a lot of you feel very ambitious, goal-orientated, going with what the tide is, getting all these opportunities, ambitions. Because again, like Cancer and Capricorn and Virgo, you guys are going to be presented with loads, yeah, loads of opportunities, you know, tangible opportunities, material opportunities. But you, Pisces, I feel the Moon card is also asking you to just continue to listen to your intuition. You know, and keep on top of like things to do with like the mental health as well, because you could be overwhelmed, overstimulated by what too much is going on. And yeah, take time out for yourself. You know, this card is also saying that you could be picking up on so many things that are going on that you may not know whether you're coming or going. It can make you moody, but it can also make a lot of you just feel just too much going on. Too much is being presented to me. I want them all, but I don't want them all. I want to be alone. So that's one of the reasons why I feel that it's really great to keep up with any type of practice that helps ground you. But all in all, Pisces, very busy time. And, you know, again, like I said, because Saturn's in your sign, this is going to really help you. And I feel some of you could just be making so much dough that, you know, you may not know what to do with yourself. So what Taurus is also saying for you, Pisces, is, you know, not overspending, but if you are going to spend wisely. You know, invest in your talents and your skills. Okay. So guys, that was the Jupiter in Pisces for all the signs. Thank you so much if you listened to everything that I said. Feel free to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for all my subscribers. You can leave comments. Let me know how Jupiter is going for you. This is going to be up forever, this video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.